Mount Juliet Christian. This is Ken Dye from the University of Notre Dame. Looking forward to your performance here at Festival Disney. It's a pleasure to have you here. Good luck and play well. That's a pretty nice sound. I add air. I just add, don't need to play it any louder, but I would add more air in back of that, more air support, and it's gonna clear up the tone quality a little bit and give you better control of the pitch. Tune the last note, listen to your neighbor and match the pitch of your neighbor and adjust the pitch with the air and the embouchure. There's a nice mix of sounds here. That's interesting. That's a baritone. Well, it's not afraid to play out. Good for you. I would put that in octaves, the first flute part or the flute part. Put one on that upper octave. Good chord. It's balanced more to the bottom of the band. Okay. Pretty nice. I think the air would really help support the sound and support the sound and give you better control of the tuning. balance to. Okay. Okay, listen to the pitch as you hold that out. If you can, start learning vibrato so that you can add that to warm up the sound on the saxophone. Okay, always keep good tone, quality, and pitch, regardless of the range and the volume. Okay, this band makes a lot of sound, There's a lot to work with there. You should be proud of what you've accomplished in a short amount of time at your school. I realize that, according to your letter, they're just developing a band program, and this is a really good milestone in the development of that band program. So keep working, keep practicing, keep playing in school, because you only get better the more you practice. Go ahead and don't be afraid to use air, but also turn the volume down on the instrument with the same amount of air. The result will be a fuller, warmer sound at a volume that you can control and at pitch that you can control. Listen carefully as you're playing your pieces and make the adjustment on the pitch with air and embouchure, listening to your neighbor and other sections that have the same thing. Congratulations on a good job today.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Good. We've got high hands up here in the front row. Kim, is that you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Walt Disney World Resort and Festival Disney. In respect for the next performance, please turn off all cell phones at this time. We also request that you refrain from using flash photography or video writing during the performance. Thank you. We would now like to take a moment to introduce our distinguished panel of Festival Disney adjudicators. Professor Joseph Hermann, Director of Bands and Professor of Music at Tennessee Tech University and past President of the American Bandmasters Association. Dr. Ken Dye, Director of Bands and Professor of Music at the University of Notre Dame. And Dr. Alexander Jimenez, Director of Orchestral Activities at Florida State University.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our Festival Disney stage from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, under the direction of Beth Davis and the Mount Juliet Christian Academy Concert Band.
Good afternoon, Mount Juliet Christian Academy Concert Band. My name is Joe Hermann. I'm Director of Bands at Tennessee Tech University, and I'm delighted that you're here at Festival Disney 2016 on March 19. Looking forward to your performance. You're having some intonation difficulties there. We've got to keep the air moving at speed and making those things happen, and just going through. You're just getting a sense of where we go relative to all of that. We could get a little bit more bottom sound from that, okay, without really straining too much. Yeah, we have just a little bit of a problem in getting the air to move here. Okay. All right. So we have a sense of maybe being a little bit freer with what we do there with the baritone, okay, and making that all happen. Okay, well, we've got some tone production problems here, and then we've got to get into this whole thing and really get things to happen as it relates to to do those kinds of things. That the long note chorales are going to be really very helpful in this whole thing, and I think that this is a good start on all this.
Pretty nice. I think the air would really help
Okay,
the sound.
I think that the overall the tone quality of the ensemble. I mean, some really nice work at trying to find the phrases and the musical content there. The difficulties we have, unfortunately, are in a situation where we've got some 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 real sense about the tone production, intonation, and making all of that work, and so just going through there and making all of that work. So when we do our clinic, we'll have a little bit of time to talk about some things and to make that happen then. Yeah, timpani just a little on the sharp side there. Okay, good. This is fine. Snare drum is a little hot right now. Yeah, I think the problem is that we're just not putting enough air to center the tone. Okay, we're blowing low, and that's where we are right now. And you hear how the flutes right now are very dominant in what we're doing right now.
Start learning vibrato so we can add that to warm up the sound on the saxophone.
It's a nice woodwind sound.
Always keep the tone volume pitch regardless of the range and the volume.
Yeah, we missed the third though. We have to really rescore that chord in order to make that happen there. Follow those marks. All right, guys. All right. It's exciting. Lots of energy. The good things there. Good things there. I get to come up and do a clinic with you, and that's going to be a thrill for me.
A band program, and this is a really good milestone in the development of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Walt Disney World Resort and Festival Disney. In respect for the next performance, please turn off all cell phones at this time. We also request that you refrain from using flash photography or video lighting during the performance. Thank you. We would now like to take a moment to introduce our distinguished panel of Festival Disney adjudicators. Professor Joseph Hermann, Director of Bands and Professor of Music at Tennessee Tech University and past President of the American Bandmasters Association. Dr. Ken Dye, Director of Bands and Professor of Music at the University of Notre Dame. And Dr. Alexander Jimenez, Director of Orchestral Activities at Florida State University.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our Festival Disney stage from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, under the direction of Beth Davis, the Mount Juliet Christian Academy Concert Band.
Welcome, Mount Juliet Christian Academy Concert Band. I am Alex Jimenez, Director of Orchestras at the Florida State University College of Music, and we are just very happy to have you on the Festival Disney stage and look forward to your performance.
Looking forward to your performance. Intonation difficulties there. We got to keep the air moving at speed and making those things happen. And just going through
There's a nice collective flute sound in there.
where we go relative to all of that. We could get a little bit more about
A few
without
few intonation things here and there. Good sense of time in the ensemble. I realize this is a very, very young group, very young program.
just a little bit of
So it's very admirable that you are having a nice sense of balance and blend for appropriate to your collective ages. So one of the things that you want to start thinking about as young ensemble players is the notion that in ensemble playing we're always listening to each other as much as we can. That gets a little bit easier as you get older and you get a little bit more mature and experienced and facile on your instruments. But even now with this music, which is very appropriate for your age and for your relative level of experience, you want to listen to the moving notes. So if you have longer note values, the shorter note values that are happening, let's say you're playing quarter notes and somebody else is playing eighth notes, you really want to listen carefully to those eighth notes so that your quarter notes can be right in time with those eighth notes. If you're playing half notes, you want those half notes to be right in time with the quarter notes, and so forth and so on. And if everybody's playing the same note value, then everybody has to subdivide internally their note value Good. Good. Nice expression here. Good intensity in the playing. Very nice. There are a lot of really great performance values in the work that you're doing, and what I really admire is that, you know, I read your little note here, and so I appreciate having this bit of information because this is a ratings only, and so I know you're not fishing for anything at all other than to just let us know, which is very helpful. And in letting us know, it certainly gives me a deep appreciation for what you're doing, which is not only teaching them fundamental skills, which is hard enough as it is, but doing it with also a sense of musicianship. And that is very, very nice to see phrase and a sense of line and a sense of climax in the playing. All of that, very, very positive stuff. So congratulations. Good time. Good sense of time here. The snare drum's just a little bit loud. Okay, so when you're playing snare drum, a couple things for the snare drum player. I'm a percussionist in my past, and a couple of things. You want the snares to be a little bit tighter if you can. You know, take that little screw that's right there by the snare strainer and tighten it just a little bit so that it's a little more crisp. And you don't want it to be too loud. This should just be in the background. That's a little bit too much. One of the concepts that you are going to learn is when you play softer, you need as much support. You need a certain amount of air. You always need a certain amount of air, regardless of the dynamics, to maintain the characteristic quality of the instruments. Your teacher knows this quite well. She's doing a very good job with you. But as she continues to work with you on those things, pay careful attention because it makes a difference in performance. One little thing that you can think about that may be helpful, a couple of little things that help you remember this. One is that regardless of the dynamic, the level for the playing, so let's say the part is marked piano, like that little trumpet lick, always think fortissimo. Okay, always have a fortissimo attitude about your playing, which will also help you in terms of thinking how your body is going to respond to playing something that is soft. Okay? All right? And the other thing, I was just listening to this section, this transition, the other thing is a little trick that you can use just to sort of make a point about this, is to have the kids whisper something to a group of people that are in front of them or at some distance, like in a hall. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And have them whisper something like they would whisper to somebody standing next to them. And of course the people in the hall will go, I didn't understand what they said, or the people in the room, I didn't understand, or I didn't hear what they said. Then have them whisper the same thing, but this time take a nice deep breath, say whatever it is that you have them say with real articulation and intensity, and suddenly everybody will hear it, even though it'll still be piano. And that's how you get that thought across. Good. I like you've done a very good job with your forte and fortissimo playing, and it's really, there's a very strong sound coming out of this group. They are really learning some great things from you. You guys have a wonderful teacher, and I think you are well on your way to some great things. So I want to encourage you, keep practicing. Take it very seriously. Have fun with it. Don't take it so seriously you can't have fun with it. But when I say take it seriously, I mean enjoy what you're doing. Apply yourself to what you're doing. Anything in life, whether it's playing in band, whether it's being part of a business, whether it's being an employee, whether it's being a family member, whether it's being a brother or sister, a husband or a wife, whatever. It's like a bank. You only get interest on your money when you put money in the bank. And the more money you put in the bank, the more interest you get. And consider that for life. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And so we can just bring it down here to band and music, or, the more you guys put in individually to what you do, the more you will get out of it, both individually and collectively. So congratulations, and really enjoy yourselves. Thank you.